Now it's time for the Eastern Airways British Sidecar Championship. And just take a little look at the engineering that goes into building one of these things. They're absolutely brilliant. But let's get straight to the action with our Sidecar Supremo, Barry Nutley.
Round 8 of the Eastern Airways British F1 Sidecar Championship, and look at that, 320 points. He can wrap up the title. Tim Reeves, this race, he can put it out of reach, even though there are double points at the final round at Brands. Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson from Hegarty. Hegarty won't start because Johnny Briggs sadly couldn't hack the pace yesterday, so they've loaded up and gone home. That elevates Ben Holland, so he's only 2 points off and he will go past Hegarty. Lovelock was flying second yesterday. Mark Edwards on the Kawasaki on 144. Barry James not here. Ian Drown with Ken Edwards there on 92. Chaplow and a Dutchman, Kees Endervelt. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood in 10th. So, drama here. There's been some action here at Assen over the weekend. I can tell you, they line up as they finished the race yesterday. Reeves took the win on the penultimate lap from Lovelock. So, row 2, Holland and Mark Edwards. There are your fastest four. Then Craig Chaplow with John Holden, Isle of Man TT regular. He's doing the last rounds in this championship on the F1. Then the best of the Dutchmen, Ken Trott and Danny de Haas in 7th place, followed by second in the Dutch Championship, Mr. Keppel. So the Dutch going well, and we've had a problem with oil on the circuit. I can only think that on the warm-up lap, one of the Dutch outfits deposited the oil because the British Championship regulars have a catch pan underneath, which means that if the engine does lose oil, then it's all contained. And Tim Reeves, number 77 from pole position, has had something of a reprieve because he had a problem on the original warm-up lap and had to go into pit lane with a technical issue, but he starts now from pole position. This is the race, an 8-lapper in which Tim Reeves can put the championship out of sight. For 2013, watch the lights. Reeves on the right of your picture, the BMW number 1 from the reigning and will be outgoing champion Roger Lovelock. Very, very fast in a straight line, but it's Reeves in the lead, or is it? Yeah, across the front of Lovelock. Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson slotting into 3rd, and Ben Holland, Lee Watson on the Finning Cat Suzuki, the yellow and black bike. Then it's Mark Edwards, number 8 on the Kawasaki, with Lee Barrett doing the business there. They were the pair who were ejected at the hairpin at Donington Park in the previous round. John Holden starting well. There's Roger Body. There's the best of the Dutchmen. That looked like Kees Kentrop was indeed number 81. Reeves there, 5 lengths already. Edwards and Lee Barrett, they will be teaming up in a new outfit next year with a new pairing, a 2-bike team. That'll be interesting to watch. Let's see if Jarno Keppel, number 173, can get the better of Kentrop, because we have a race within a race here. Yesterday we had a Dutch Championship race within the sidecar race. There's Jarno Keppel, 173. Frank Dixon, his passenger, they've been together for 7 years. There's Keppel, what a smart outfit there. That's nearly a massive spin, but he just saved it. He just saved it, and that allowed Kentrop to close up on him. So Keppel just in front. This is the battle of the local boys, the Dutchmen here. 2nd and 1st in the Dutch Championship, and they are scrapping at Assen. There, Colin Nicholson, riding his own make of machine. He builds them. Let's have a look at this. This is, oh, look at that. The back end just lets go. You see the smoke off the Avon tyre, but he just saved it. The passenger did a great job there, just kept it anchored down. Up to 2nd, it's Peach. Peach has gone past the Driver Wolf BMW of Lovelock. So Suzuki leads, Suzuki 2nd. Suzuki in 4th, and the filling in the sandwich, the green and orange. Oh, and Lovelock through the back end round there as well. It's still a bit greasy out there, if you ask me. There is still something on the track surface that's causing these guys to lose the back end the way they are. Look at that little thing protruding underneath. Believe it or not, that is the driver's toes. They kneel in there with their toes pointing down towards the tarmac, operating the brake and the gear lever, and the little bump you see underneath is actually their feet. Lovelock and Nakiato, Finnish passenger, in 3rd place. Ben Holland and Lee Watson. Well, they will go up to third in the championship, definitely, because Sean Hegarty is not in the race. Andy Peach, who is second at the moment on 203 points, needs the result of this race because he trailed home in about 12th place yesterday with a gear shift problem. Charlie Richardson, the young passenger, they've been together for... Oh, that's Ian Drown, 170 out of it. Ian Drown and Ken Edwards. Their all-white Kawasaki has retired. So all the way from Cornwall, Ken Edwards. It's a long way for him to go home. Still that... this is Tim Reeves, number 77. Tim and Tristan Reeves. Oh, Ian Drown and Ken Edwards have got going again. So they're in front of the... well, newly deposed 4 times world champion, because yesterday at Le Mans, the 2013 World Championship was decided in favour of the Finnish rider. So Tim Reeves then, having relinquished his crown. Pekka Pavarenta from Finland is the new champion. Ben and Tom Birchall, who contested this race in Donington, and again they rode earlier in the season in Brands, they won the race in Le Mans yesterday. So the Birchalls won it. Second place, Jörg Steinhausen and Ashley Hawes, and third place and the championship, Pekka Pavarenta and Adolf Hani. 99, John Holden, right with him now, Jarno Keppel. Jarno Keppel, the Dutchman. Now he's putting on a good show here. Second in the championship, 24 points adrift, this man. And he's up to 6th place, or he's up to 7th place, because this is the battle for 6th. At the moment, John Holden, 99, with Andy Winkler in the chair, has it. Jarno Keppel, 173, best of the Dutchmen in this race, wants it. And right behind him, it's Kees Kentrop and Danny de Haas. So those 2 Dutchmen worthy of their place. And I do hear, and I heard it from Keppel himself, that he intends to contest the entire Eastern Airways British F1 Sidecar Championship in the UK next year. So then, that was... And again, Keppel is throwing the back end around. Back end stepped out again. He's got to keep it calm now, because this is a good ride for him. A big man as well, long hair, looks like a rock star, but he rides that outfit well. There, Kees Kentrop, number 81, Danny de Haas, who is a nephew of the de Haas man who rode with Egbert Stroyer. Ooh, look at this, Ricky Stevens, Kees Kentrop flying by, so Kentrop now past Stevens, moving up. Stevens fighting back. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood on the Assured Office Solutions Yamaha. Great stuff. It's been a long day here at Assen, but what a circuit for sidecars. 2.83 miles, the lap record held by Tim Reeves in your shot now at 141.827, and his best lap on the grass there, Ian Drown, his best lap 142.555. So he's a second off his own lap record pace as Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson sweep past Ian Drown and Ken Edwards. The number 4 L&W Suzuki in pursuit of Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto, the number 1 driver with BMW. There it is, the green and orange bike. Lots of crews talking about change of engine for next year. Suzuki being the popular choice at the moment, but the Suzukis are getting a bit long in the tooth, and the 2012-2013 GSX 1000 does not work quite so well in an F1 sidecar outfit. Look at the leathers rippling. Charlie Richardson throwing himself from right to left. This is incredibly fast here. Parts of the circuit absolutely flat out on lap 6. Through the chicane they come, into the left-hander. Right-hander ahead of them, chucking it in, keeping the right-hander. Andy Peach looking good. He's really become smooth these days. There'll be another right after this one, still going right. And he goes, and then on the sprint towards the stadium area. Peach. There's over the line goes Tim Reeves then. Starting his penultimate lap, and that is the gap, and I can tell you what the gap is. When Andy Peach goes over it, it's a very big one. It's a very big one. About 7 seconds the lead at the moment. The blue flag being waved, meaning move over, you're about to be overtaken by Mark Edwards in third place in the final podium place. He's got the better of Ben Holland and Lee Watson, so Edwards and Lee Barrett charging on the Kawasaki. Roger Lovelock, driver Wolf BMW, into pit lane, I do believe. Well, that's a catastrophe for him, and that will elevate everyone up the standings. That's why he's disappeared from the leaderboard. Number 1, Lovelock, in pit lane. There he is coasting. His race then is over. Something has occurred with the driver Wolf BMW. Aki Alto having a look down the right-hand side. We have no idea what that is, but his race is over. Disappointing for him. Long way to come to go home empty-handed on race 2. Rod Robinson, Nick Webb, number 10, and coming around behind them, race leader having a solitary championship winning victory, because this will put it out of sight. It will make Tim and Tristan Reeves invincible going into the final 2 races. Next up, Silverstone, and then the final at Brands Hatch. Double points, double prize money. And Gary Horsepole having a good go here at Colin Nicholson. Is he going to be able to get past? Still this battle raging. Fantastic. Jarno Keppel, 173, right in the mix there, racing with some of the best crews out of the UK. John Holden, Andy Winkle ahead of him, and behind him, Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood. Tim Reeves is on his final lap. These guys still have to go over the line to start their final lap, and through on the inside goes Keppel. He's got it. Is he going to make it stick? Is he going in too hot? Ricky Stevens trying to follow him through, but Jarno Keppel and Frank Dirksen have gone ahead of John Holden. This indeed is a remarkable performance for them. They've really got the message, these boys. We had a chat to them lunchtime in Ben Holland's hospitality, where they expressed their intention to mix it on a regular basis with the Eastern Airways F1 British Sidecar Championship runners. And it'll be good to have yet more continental flavour. We understand that Johan Reuterholt, the disabled Swede, is also coming back for 2014. That will be good indeed. Now, can Ricky Stevens, number 100, do anything about 99? John Holden, Andy Winkle ahead of him. Here he goes, Ricky Stevens sweeping past. And he's got it, and he's made it stick. So Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood now chasing the Dutchman down. He's got himself up to 5th place. There's your race leaders on the final lap, Tim and Tristan Reeves. And a big crowd in the grandstand here. They'll be loving the antics of Jarno Keppel, I can tell you. Very, very partisan crowd. There it is, over the line, checkered flag for Tim and Tristan Reeves. 25 points, the championship now unassailable. And who's going to grab 2nd place? Is it Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson looking for the number 4? It's a tail ender coming over the line. Here we are, 2nd place, Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson. Some 6 seconds adrift, I would say, or even more, 22 seconds adrift in 2nd place. Astonishing. And the podium, final place on the podium for Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett on the Kawasaki. Brilliant. And this battle raging now for the Dutchman. Ricky Stevens has got the better of Jarno Keppel. At the line then, Ricky Stevens gets 5th place. Ahead of him, Ben Holland and Lee Watson. They get 4th, but race winners, Tim and Tristan Reeves, they were a 2nd off their lap record pace, but it was a cracking race. This man is just such a class act. Tim and Tristan Reeves then, victors here, a double win, 50 points they take away from Holland. That will move them on to 350 points. And nobody can hold a candle to them. Well done, you boys, but a great, great performance by the local residents. The Dutch did themselves proud. Well, there it is, confirmed. Reeves, Peach, Edwards. That is the podium. A great ride by Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett. Ben Holland, Lee Watson faded somewhat, but fourth gives them good, solid points. Their battle with Andy Peach still raging, and you'll see that when we come to the standings. Ricky Stevens acquitted himself very well, as indeed did Jarno Keppel and Freek Dirksen. Terrific sixth place for them in very hot company. Kees Kantrop and Danny de Haas, local men as well, trailing John Holden and Andy Winkle. Another Dutch resident, Colin Nicholson, Dalhuizen, from Holspol and Napton on the Hopper. Simon Gilbert, he'll be pleased. He hasn't seen the checkered flag for a while. He'll be happy with that. Ashley Moore did a great job. Smits Verbrugge, Ian Guy, Roger Body's solid points again in 14th. Hilbert Tallens and Ilse de Haas, a young lady there on the Dutch outfit, 15th place. Rupert Archer, Shelley Smithers, another young lady, 16th. The Ritzer brothers from Robinson, Drown, and you saw Lovelock in pit lane. So what does that do to Tim Reeves? Can anybody have an answer? Well, 345 points with 150 up for grabs. So if he doesn't ride, then somebody else could win it, but it's not a done deal. Double points at Brands Hatch. Peach, a long way away, 2-2-3. Holland, Hegarty, not here, but he'll be back for Silverstone. Lovelock, faded away. Edwards has enhanced his to 160. James, Drown, Chaplow, and Stevens on 77. Roger Body, solid there in the middle of the pack from Gary Horsepole. Ian Guy, John Clark hasn't contested every round, as indeed Steinhausen the same. The Birchells, they come and go. And Gilbert, Holden, and Rod Robinson propping up the field there on 29. Well, bringing a great weekend here at Assen to conclusion. The sidecar race, Tim and Tristan Reeves again on top of the podium. Mark Edwards on the right of your picture, the third there. They'll be thrilled here in Lee Barrett. Andy Peach and Charlie spraying the bubbly. What a sidecar race. It comes back to us when we go to Silverstone for round 9, and then it all ends at Brands Hatch.
What a stunning weekend of racing we've had here from Assen. And don't forget to join us next time, the penultimate round from Silverstone. So until then, goodbye.